wrestling, the WWE, all this good and good. Now, I will say this first of all, as it relates to a man, a legend, the Bryan. I'm sad to hear that he's retired from wrestling. Daniel Bryan, to me, and I'm going to be one of those guys that will say this. Prior to him being in WWE, I know little about the man Bryan Danielson, but I knew about a little bit of his Ring of Honor career because of the DVD I owned and so forth from watching, some of his matches. A bad motherfucker, a truly great wrestler who could make anyone look good. And it's sad that he's no longer going to be performing in the WWE or wrestling in general. But I understand the message that was given as it relates to wanting to do things outside of wrestling, have a family, do this and do that. It's important that us as fans understand that it's the same situation that happened with Edge. We wanted to see him wrestle again and this and that. But be realistic. Would you rather see Edge in a wheelchair or worser to the point where we were like, man, what the hell were we thinking? Why the hell do we want him to get back in the ring and risk his health? But much respect to Daniel Bryanson. I said Daniel Bryanson because I'm thinking about Daniel Bryan. But the man, Bryan Danielson. And I want to respect his wishes of what he wants to do as it relates to his life. Um, this video is also, I'm just going to go into it. I'm just going to be real. I just recently found out the situation with Titus O'Neil. I find it funny, hilarious. And there's a lot of people who say, this was racist, man. This was this and this was that. Basically, I would say this. If I was to grab my boss in my job, I would probably be fired or probably be suspended or probably be heckled, stepped on, put down, and said, why the hell did you touch me? This, unless you just straight have a really good bond with your boss at your job. And the thing that makes it even more prolific, or if you look at it, the fact that WWE has promoted Titus O'Neil and showed he's a good father and he works with different organizations and so forth. You would think this would be slid under the cover. No, you do not touch the chairman of the board. Oh, you gotta be fucking kidding me. I saw little snippets of the video, and this was like an after Raw thing, and he grabbed him by his arm, and Vince pushed him. Give me a fucking break, man. He was originally suspended for 90 days. They reduced it to 60. Oh, but he's still going to miss WrestleMania. Give me a fucking break. The thing that kind of icks me a lot about it is just the simple fact that what we see on TV half the time is not as always what we see in reality. And to sit there and knock the man for just grabbing your fucking arm, that's a lot of fucking bullshit. Simply, you could have maybe just because I noticed that you're the boss or whatever, and yeah, you got the balls the size of grapefruits, but at the same time, maybe a week. You could have gave him a week to think about what he did or whatnot, or maybe it's a strategy by Titus O'Neil. Maybe it's a strategy by him wanting to finally say, WWE, I'm thinking about just leaving. I got enough money saved up. I want to spend time with my family. Maybe. Who knows? Um, I think that in this situation, there's a situation where it's going to have to be cleared out sooner than later because there's a lot of people on social media that have gotten hold of this story about Titus O'Neil. And I think it's just, it's crazy. I think it's prolific to sit there and show it, to know it, to be it, to see it. Because at the end of the day, 90 days for just grabbing someone's arm. And maybe it wasn't a playful way. Maybe he was just trying to ask Vince McMahon something. Maybe it was this, maybe it was that. Maybe Vince McMahon was trying to keep kayfabe because, he's supposed to be like the evil chairman of the board at this point. And it's, I don't know, but I think it's just a lot of backwater bullshit that's going on with that. And yeah, I hope it gets resolved soon. And I also want to talk about AJ Styles, the phenomenal one. He made his debut at the Royal Rumble. I was I shit my pants, like it was like that amazing that I saw the phenomenal one, AJ Styles. Now the thing about me, I am a huge WWE guy, and I also love TNA. I love what they do, even when they suck half the time. I still was a loyal fan of their product, if you will. I haven't been able to watch it because, of course, the channel that had it on there, Destination America, doesn't carry it anymore. It's on Pop TV, but I can kind of see little ints and clinks on the TNA wrestling thing because I'm subscribed to their channel. But the thing that I like about the fact that WWE has, because WWE, believe it or not, right now at this point they have Samoa Joe in NXT, Christopher Day. I'm not Christopher Day. I'm sorry about that, but that would be cool also. Um, Austin Aries is fit to debut in NXT, and you have the phenomenal one AJ Styles on the main roster for WWE. This is like a fresh glass of water, if you will, for the WWE creative. Now you have more talent, and I heard that they're going to get uh, I hope I'm pronouncing it right. Shinmoka Naro. What he wrestled for Ring of Honor. He not Ring of Honor. He wrestled for Ring of Honor also, but he also wrestled for New Japan Pro Wrestling. And I feel if they get all this talent in the company, because if you look at it right now, the WWE is hurting bad, especially building up to WrestleMania. You have so many wrestlers on the injury reserve. It's sad. It's really sad. You have John Cena. John Cena. I say that with a whole lot of emphasis because John Cena is the fucking face. What do you guys like it or not? It's the fucking face of the company. That's like Hulk Hogan missing out at WrestleMania 6 or Hulk Hogan missing out at WrestleMania 3. You would be like, okay, who would Andre fight? Who would the Warrior fight? Who? Scratch your fucking head on that one, right? But you have John Cena, who's out with an injury. You have Cesaro, who is one of the most talented motherfuckers on their roster, out with an injury. Randy Orton, another known WWE talent, out with an injury. You are struggling. You are like at the nick bones and bumps of what you can do. Some people said that the main event of WrestleMania might be Triple H versus Brock Lesnar, but it's looking like they're going to have to split them. They might have to put Brock Lesnar versus Dean Ambrose, which is going to be an underdog versus a straight up suplex city monster, and then you have Triple H probably taking on Roman Reigns. It's not looking good. I'm just gonna be honest with you. The other WrestleManias had that build in for it. You wanted to see the match. You wanted to see what happens. You don't have it right here. I mean, I could probably say that they maybe can probably have the Undertaker come back because of the whole thing with the Wyatt family, and maybe have the Undertaker take on Braun Strowman or whatever it is. That's what they're building up to say that they're going to have that happen, and maybe do something with that. But then again, at the same time, that man is green as fuck. He's not going to be able to do a 10-minute, at least 20-minute match with the Undertaker because he's gonna run out of moves. He's gonna fuck up. They're gonna be chanting, "You fucked up, you fucked up." If he keeps on going, he's gonna be winded. He's gonna. But then again, I'm just going to be like that to say that about that man. I don't know that man. I don't know that man for one thing in the moon. I don't know. But at the same time, you got to look at what's the build up. What's the build up for WrestleMania? I mean, the injury reserves are high. And once again, I would say like with all the new talent coming in, it's going to have to be a lot of build in for matches. First of all, you could look at the Kevin Owens and Dolph Ziggler situation. Build up on that. Make it happen. Make it work. Make it do something. Make it get a little bit more extreme. Make it get a little more serious, and push it to where you want to push it with that match. Even with the Divas division, I mean, you should probably go and push Sasha Banks to the title. Go and get her and Charlotte in there. Make it happen for WrestleMania. Build it up. You have enough time to push that. Nikki Bella is out injury, of course. Her and John Cena, her fiance, out injured. And I think the WWE needs to like basically open the thinking caps up a little bit. Throw some shit out there that people wouldn't expect. Don't give them the whole same old bullshit. I mean, at the same time, you got to look at all that. And another thing I wanted to talk about, and this is my dear heart, truly a daily. Go sip a little bit. Of this. Okay, it's just a little bit of. But and that is dealing with the League of. Let me say it like Earl. Let me say it like Howard Finkel. The League of Nations. The League of Nations. This plan can work if you use your talent. But considering the fact that two members of your fucking group are injured, Wade Barrett is not wrestled because he's suffering from an injury. Sheamus is out with an injury. I think you're fucking. This is like the Job Squad 2.0. If you guys remember the Job Squad, and it's kind of like the group that they have going on now, the social media outcasts, all that bullshit with fucking Adam Rose and all that shit. Fuck it. Hey, look, it's the same thing. And I'm gonna say this about both of these groups that the WWE is trying to throw at us. With the social outcast or all that Job Squad 2.0, this is what I have to be real with you guys about. Just being honest, it's not going to work. I feel it's not going to work because, first of all, they tried this before with the Job Squad. It was Al Snow. I think it was some other people in there and all that, blah, blah, blah. I think Mick Foley with Mankind and stuff was in there. It didn't work. And that was an Attitude Era. In the current stage of where wrestling is at, it's not going to work because of the simple fact that with Heath Slater, first of all, Heath Slater's been with the company since like 2010, 2009, give or take. He started with the Nexus, and he was on NXT before that and all that. I feel like with that particular talent, it's a ball dropped, probably in a sense. With Adam Rose, there may be still something to grip onto with his Cougar gimmick he had at one point, and then his Florida championship NXT and all that. I think that would be something that would be cool to put. Hell, they could make Adam Rose become a darker character like that as it relates to his Leo Cougar character, and make him more of something. Maybe put him with the Wyatts, add that, build that branch of stable up instead of trying to throw multiple staples at multiple staples. If you look at WCW, when they had the NWO, at that point, of course, you had the Four Horsemen, and at that point, I think the Dungeon of Doom was still around, but you didn't have any other quote unquote, fractions as it relates to how you did your particular way you wanted to do something, as it relates to a spread out certain groups, especially if you only had certain amount of main eventers and you only had so many lower card guys. You want to kind of give them a little face to be on television and so forth. With this whole Job Squad 2.0 or the social media outcasts or this and that, I think it's not going to work. And when it folds in with the League of Nations, I feel that it can still work, but they are definitely in dire straits to try to push something together with that, because it seems like a good gimmick, but at the same time, it's not going to be worth shit if you don't have any of the wrestlers actively wrestling to be able to push this quote-unquote faction together. And just like I said, Sheamus is out, injured. Wade Barrett, we don't know when he's going to be able to actually get back in the ring and do his thing. So really, you're really stuck with Alberto Del Rio and Rusev. And that's pretty much what you have. Being honest, being real. I personally like to say that with all the opinions that I made in this video, if you will, I will say that with Daniel Bryan retiring, main point of that is the fact that a great guy, great talent. Hell, the guy was trained by Shawn Michaels. Daniel Bryan, I've seen a bunch of his matches on YouTube. Awesome guy. Respect him, truly. With the Titus O'Neil situation, this could have been handled a little bit differently. It could have been probably more of a situation where maybe took it off TV for 1 week or 2 weeks or whatnot. Or maybe just happening. Maybe just would have made it a 30-day thing, and people would have probably noticed that he was not really on TV as much. But it didn't have to be pushed to the point of you sitting here basically saying, if you touch Vince McMahon, you're fucked. And like I said, with the whole League of Nations things and the whole Job Squad 2.0, the social media outcast, the social media outcast thing, I think they need to drop it. They need to try to branch these wrestlers off and try to build their characters up a little bit more. The one thing I would respect about the Attitude Era or that quote-unquote time in wrestling is the fact that they kind of gave the wrestlers a little run with the ball kind of technique. You didn't have to always be on the script. You didn't always have to do what the writers told you to do. And it brought out more of the characteristics of the person. And that was made it more real to the wrestling fans. With this situation, you're pushing a bunch of guys into one group, and you can tell it's falling flat on its ass because the people in the audiences are not buying the shit. First of all, you just randomly threw four guys together, and you say, okay, this is going to work. And I saw that they pulled Ryback away from it because at one point they was trying to push Ryback into it, but they pulled him back from being in it because you're going to fuck Ryback up in the long run. I just don't know. I just feel like at the end of the day, WWE needs to reevaluate its current situation as it relates to talent, as it relates to storylines, as it relates to how they deal with people. Titus O'Neil. Excuse me. But I think at the end of the day, WWE needs to work on what they need to do to quote unquote build their audience and make it more watchable and make it more exciting. You have wrestlers that literally put their ass on the line every time they step in that ring. And I know it's people out there that was the wrestling's fake. Fuck you. With a hard metal dick. Wrestling is what it is. It's sports entertainment. It's still athleticism. It's still all this in between. And at the end of the day, I'm a wrestling fan. Been a wrestling fan since I was 4 years old, sitting on my granddaddy's knee. And I respect the hell out of wrestling. And I'm not going to say, it's real to me, damn it. But it's still fun for me to watch. But yeah, guys, this is Jughead82, signing off.